Memories with Meg. Meg!
Something that's interesting about me is I've always been kind of young for my age. Not in like a maturity kind of sense, but more in the sense that my birthday is in the summer and all of my friends' birthdays are in the fall of the previous year. So when I was in school, I graduated when I was 17 and I was just kind of younger than everyone else. So this is important to this story because when I was 15, all of my friends were 16 and had their driver's licenses. On one particularly beautiful fall evening on my sophomore year of high school, I was 15 and one of my 16-year-old friends called me up and said, "Hey, Meg, come over, let's hang out." And I said, "Sure." So I go over to my friend's house, we'll call her Kelsey, and there ends up being a whole bunch of girls there. It's probably 5 of us. It wasn't until I actually got to Kelsey's house that I realized why I had been called and why there were all of us there. Now, as I remember it, Kelsey had just broken up with her boyfriend, who was a year older than all of us, and a grade older, so he was a junior when we were all sophomores. It had been a particularly nasty breakup, and she had called all 5 of us there for revenge. Yes, I know exactly how this sounds. So we 5 were there, and she had this big elaborate plan of just, it's a simple little get back, it's not even anything really mean. She had got wind that he was at work, and that his car was at work, and you've got to understand, she was dating this boy who was kind of wealthy, and so his car was a nice car, and it was like his baby. He loved this car. It meant more to him than anything. So I guess she figured what better way to get back at him than to just get back at his car, right? So she clues us in on the plan. She's got like 10 boxes of saran wrap, and we're going to go to his work, find his car, and saran wrap the crap out of his car. And we're all like, frick yeah. So there's 6 of us total, and we all pile into the back of Kelsey's little tiny 1980s Honda, and we're on our way to the guy's work. It's a couple cities over. We get there, and the saran wrapping is actually really, really fun. It's dark by this time. It's probably like 9 o'clock at night. And we start saran wrapping the car, and we're going over the top, underneath the bottom. We're crawling underneath the car to get the saran wrap, up and over and down. We're going around the grill. We've got the windshield done. Like, this car is saran wrapped. So we get all finished saran wrapping this car, and we're kind of just standing back admiring our work. Like, it's beautiful. This car isn't even a car anymore. It was black, and now it's just kind of like shimmery plastic. There's 2 girls that are still going around, saran wrapping the front and back. They're the only ones that are still doing anything. The rest of us are standing in this parking lot. There's 2 street lamps that are just kind of like lighting up this parking lot. For the most part, it's deserted. This business is just kind of like, it's 9 o'clock and that's when it's mostly closing, but it's back behind the business where the employees park. And so there's nothing there, and all of a sudden the silence is just broken. "What have you done to my car?" And we're all standing there like deer in the headlights. He's not supposed to be off his shift for another hour. Finally, he starts charging towards us, and we're out. Like, we are running to the car that we came in, trying to get out of there. Kelsey jams the key in the ignition. She's starting the car while the rest of us are still trying to pile into the back. There's 6 of us. It's a 5-seater car, and so the last girl that comes in dives across our laps in the back seat, and we're slamming the door as we're driving away. For like a whole 30 seconds, we think that we got away with it, that nothing's gonna happen. Like, even if he saw that it was us doing it, what's he gonna do? We saran wrapped his car, it was his ex-girlfriend, it wasn't even property damage, it was just like good fun. Then, we see his car roaring down the street after us. And it's like, you're going to die. No. First, it was like, how did he get the saran wrap off so fast? Then it was like, we're going to die. So we are weaving in and out of traffic, trying to lose this guy because we are so afraid of what he's gonna do if he catches up to us. I have no idea why we were so afraid, because there's 6 of us, 1 of him. We saran wrapped his car, which isn't even a big deal, and there's 1 of him and 6 of us, and 1 of him and 6 of us. I don't know. So we finally weave in and out to the point where we get to this main road. It's got 2 lanes going one way and 2 lanes coming the other way at us. It's not very busy in the way that we're going, but there's traffic just kind of coming at us in the other direction. My friend Kelsey has this, like, epiphany of, oh, well, if I dive into traffic, he can't get us because no one's that suicidal. Except us, apparently. So what do? We dive into traffic! Like, what? Yeah, totally. It's like a physical grab the wheel and wrench and just turn. There's 4 of us in the backseat and we're just going, ah! It wasn't even like a go into a place that she turned into. We went up over the curb. Like, I don't know how she didn't scrape the bottom of her car into oblivion and or pop her tires and or kill us. So we do make it into this deserted parking lot of death with no streetlights or anything safely, and we think, okay, we made it, it's okay, but just to be safe, we pull into the back of this. There's this building, and then there's a road that kind of like leads behind the building. There's like one street lamp behind there, and we think, okay, he'll never find us. All he saw was us like diving into traffic. He probably thinks we're dead. Like, we can get away, we're safe. And so we pull back behind this building and we park, just kind of to breathe. Yeah, no. All of a sudden his car comes and like pulls up behind us, just revving his engine. The doors both open on both sides and we are out of that car. Now, the thing that we didn't realize is when we had pulled into that little area, it's a box. Like, it's boxed off completely. There's a wall here, walls on both sides, our car's in the middle, and his car is behind us. There's literally nowhere for us to go. Again, I feel like I have to stress we are 6, and he is 1, and why didn't we just stand? I don't understand why. I don't know. So as we're standing there looking around, desperately trying to search for a way out, I realize the walls are only like 8 feet tall. Like, they're not super tall, maybe 9 feet. I can jump up, grab the top, and I pull myself over. So as I'm like looking around problem solving, I grab the top of this wall, I pull myself up, and I'm like on top of this wall, just kind of straddling this wall. I look down and I go, "You guys, come on, you can climb this wall, let's get out of here!" And I really don't think that I can forget the conversation that ensued after that. My friend looks up at me and she goes, "How did you even get up there?" My other friends start looking around and they're looking at me and they're going, how? And one of the girls goes, "Megan just Spider-Man'd it up that wall." And even being at the top of the wall at this point, I'm going, Spider-Man'd it, huh? Yeah. Needless to say, nobody else got to the top of the wall but me. So basically, I sat there and watched as this kid kind of like corners all of them into like the back wall where they all just stand there like, "Don't hurt me, like I'm so afraid." And after he successfully scares them into not moving, he starts like raiding Kelsey's car and going through it. He pops her trunk, which, okay, and then he goes through it and he takes out everything from her trunk, like literally gets like an armful of crap, goes back to his car, dumps it in his car, closes his door, and drives away. Yeah, okay. Okay, alright. Whatever, I'm okay. So I hop down and I'm like, "Is everybody okay? They're fine, everything is fine." And we're going, "What was the stuff that he took?" And Kelsey's like, "It was stuff I was gonna donate to the thrift store. Like, it's fine." So it ended up being, like, the stupidest thing that had ever happened. But we got the most massive adventure we had had in forever. It was really, really exciting. And I got told I had Spider-Man powers, which was kind of cool, so it was a good day. If I remember correctly, like, right after this went down, we, like, hunkered down in her car and, like, drove slowly past where his work was to see, like, how he got the saran wrap off his car. It turns out all it took was one fell swoop of just, like, grab, rip, and it was gone. The moral of this story is to always use industrial strength saran wrap when saran wrapping an ex-boyfriend's car. And don't be afraid of parkour, because it could save your life. And your donated thrift store items. And when you outnumber a person 6-1, like, don't be afraid of them. I am the best morality teacher ever! Spider-Meg, Spider-Meg.